Hi there everybody and welcome to Great and Gloriously Famous One Day Nick Dutch's Tarot Show. Got my cards at the ready. We're going to try and tackle today's show in a very slightly different way. We'll tackle more than one inquiry. We'll go through a few of the emails that I've received on the private message section here on YouTube, and we'll see what kind of answers we can come up with. Okay, now without further ado. Hello. My name is Tori, I'm 20 years old and I'm inquiring about a tarot reading. The question is a lot like what was asked on your January the 29th post. I didn't actually remember that offhand, okay. I've dated someone when I was 17. The relationship was very complicated and sort of on and off. It ended after 1 year. Lately, the past week especially, I've been having a lot of signs of this person, like his name at my workplace or a friend reminding me of him. My question is, are these signs of any importance? Now that's a very interesting question. Now the reason that's a very interesting question is because on the subject of what you might call, the more signs and wonders type stuff, the more omens aspects of the apparently supernatural, opinion is very heavily divided, not united. There are some people who do see absolutely everything in life as a form of divination, but these are often individuals who try and take their form of divination to be almost like a religious thing rather than necessarily a fact-finding mission. So, can we therefore apply the idea that everything that you see and experience that has some kind of connection with this individual is truly significant? I think we would have to say no. But what I could do is I could do a quick reading for you and I could see basically what comes up there and whether there is anything that might be of interest and use to you there. Okay? So let's just have a quick look and see what's coming through in your reading today. Alright, Tori, just bear with me a second. Still using my combination of tarot and anything else that comes through. And we'll just see what kind of thoughts, feelings, moods and energies appear to Nick Dutch today. Okay. Alright. Well, a very difficult connection, I would say. I mean, this is my standard 8-card relationship reading. We've got signs on your side of things, signs on his side of things, something which defines the connection, which in this case is talking about desire, but also frustration, and progress in the future. And the progress in the future, it's not looking totally pessimistic, but it's a bit of a winding road. The first thing I would say is on your side of the reading towards him, this is where the frustration really is, because we've got signs over the desire to heal the gap, because we got air signs there, but they're also from certain cards which are associated with strife and futility. So there's a feeling of, I want this to happen, everything in the universe seems to be telling me that this is going to happen, but there's no real progress. So that can be causing like a state of extreme stress for yourself, and that can't be very healthy. So you just got to chill down with that, okay? The thing which defines the forces between you, again, a strong sense of desire. So that would suggest he has some desire for you as well. On his side of the reading, yeah, we got signs of there being not just affection, but also a strong sense of connection, a sense that at one time you were someone who provided him with that sense of self-actualization, that really powerful feeling of belonging. But that was at one time. Yes, I feel he's still feeling nostalgic about that. But also, if we think about the future, the message there is slightly different. Communication within about 3 to 4 months. And in the longer term future, there's some form of meet-up. I think that he's got to go through a bit more growing up first in order for you two to be happy in any way whatsoever, whether it's just a friendship connection or what. Because after a time of communication coming within the short-ish term future, there's then a period of sadness. Why would that be? Because your communication's not going to work out perfectly. It's going to work out in a way which is apparently a bit negative. But it's going to give both of you an opportunity to think more about where you want to go with your connection and how you want to apply the affection towards each other when thinking about the longer term future. That's basically what that is trying to tell me, I think. So, this is not necessarily an ideal relationship. It's a troubled connection, but there's still some positive feelings going forward and backward. And I think that's something you've got to remember about that. So basically, no, it isn't perfect. It isn't perfect by any means. But we can start to see that there is some kind of emotional connectivity going on there. And I'm just shuffling the cards again very quickly. Now, you may be questioning why, because I wouldn't normally do that on my tarot shows now, would I? Because today, we're trying to deal with more than one inquirer all in one go, all in one little video. So now let's have a quick look at the next inquiry and see what's coming through. But this is the way I would typically work. I'd come to the computer, I'd read the next inquiry and see whether that's appropriate for you guys, because some questions aren't. Obviously, these, the YouTube is available to anyone who's got access to the internet, basically. And there are some questions which are given to me which are rather inappropriate anyway, so I would not really broadcast those for obvious reasons. Like this one here. It's an okay question, and this is something I would be happy to deal with when I'm working over the internet and over the telephone, but it's not appropriate for me to actually broadcast that particular question as a reading video for you guys. So that's one I'm going to miss out on. This one's more interesting. Okay, we can do this one, I think. Hello Nick, I'm really enjoying watching your readings you do for others and being able to enjoy your skill in reading. I've been talking to an ex for 4.5 years on and off. We started talking again in April. From then things have progressed. Last month she started to get sexual, yet she never wants to hang out and we only live 30 miles away. If she does mention hanging out, it's for sexual purposes. Okay. It seems that when she talks to me or gets physical, out of the blue she gets a distance. I'm not sure if I'm the only person she's interested in having an affair with. It just hurts me that we can't hang out. Okay, so this is an inquiry from someone who wants to have a relationship with someone. It's only been physical when they've been connecting in the past. And his final question is, if you get the time, how will she act, feel, or think? Okay, well, nookie to nookie, I will do you a quick reading. Now bear with me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Let's basically see what's coming through for you. Giving the cards another quick shuffle and seeing what kind of thoughts, feelings, moods and energies appear. Alright, well, according to the reading, and all I can do is tell you what I can see and what I can feel and all the rest of that. There's a strong sense of power associated with this individual. There's someone who would like to be in control of a situation, someone who wants to be in control possibly of yourself as well. I mean, that can be good if that's the sort of thing that you want. But is that really necessarily appropriate to where your desires are going to go as far as a relationship connection is going in the longer term future? Well, we do have some signs of there being some happiness there in the forces between you, but remember what the Fool card signifies is often a sense of happiness which has come about as a result of not paying attention to the smaller details, which means that are you necessarily going to be as happy as you would actually want to be or would like to be, taking into account that this is an individual who seems to be wanting to try and apply control over you. You asked as part of your inquiry whether this individual was seeing somebody else. Well, there is a sense of there being other individuals around. I'm not going to be too precise there, but I would say be careful as to how you interact with this individual. Signs of control, signs of possible other involvement, be careful, okay? And also a sense that maybe there's some distraction happening to stop you from seeing the full details of what's going on. That's just some hypothetical energy there, okay? So just see that as an excuse to take the relationship with a pinch of salt. Okay, now, on your side of the connection, a very strong sense of a desire for communication. I feel you're someone who would like to avoid conflict, basically. But I think although that's a wonderful thing, it says that you're like a gentle character. Is that really where you need to go, or what you need to do with your progression within this relationship in the future? I think you need to basically lay it down on the line and say basically what your needs really are, and don't try and be subtle and don't try and be tactful. Okay? Now this is the important bit, short-term, mid-term and long-term future. Now just for 1 second, think about the colours. What do you see there? We've got lots of dark signs in the colours themselves. I've already said before that when I'm doing my readings I look at the colours as well as the symbology as well as other things there. We've got some loving signs in your mid-term future, yes, but that's also surrounded by signs relating to frustration. A sense of powerlessness over things which have the capacity to basically make you really rather unhappy. Now, although there is some signs of there being hard work which is desired to be done, to be achieved, within this particular relationship connection, trying to make sure you get the results that you're after is going to be difficult and fraught with issues. No, I don't see this as being a successful relationship. And I'm just being honest about that. Okay. Now let's go on to the next inquiry and see basically what's happening there for you. Okay, this is one we could probably do as well. My love relationship is in danger and I don't know what to do. Please help me see a little clearer. I just want to know if he really wants me and whether I should let go and move on with my child. Now, the reason that we could do this one and the reason we did the last one is because it's not too harrowing. There's an actual question there, so I can show you basically how this is done. If I felt that the reading inquiry itself was a little too vague, then it might be a bit difficult for us to be able to work with. Sorry, I just dropped one of my cards there. Okay, so we'll have a quick look at this relationship connection. We'll see basically what kind of thoughts, feelings, moods, and energies and all the rest of that appear, and we'll take it from there. Just bear with me a second, please. Still shuffling like mad. I want to have a nice, good reading. What I don't do is preemptively select the cards that I want you guys to see. Alright, what I do is it basically as close as I can to a totally genuine reading. So the cards, the way they end up on the table, that's what comes through. So let's have a quick look and see what's coming on. Now, one thing I will say about the question is it's one of those questions I don't like. Why is it a question I don't like? Because the word should is there. It appears to me that the individual who's inquiring is not really taking the reading in perspective. Because when someone asks, should I this, should I that, should I the other, they're more or less asking the reader to do the thinking for them. And that's not something I want to do. I can give you a moment of reflection about your relationship, but I'm definitely not going to do the actual thinking for you. Everything else is purely up to yourself, okay? So, let's have a quick look and see basically what we've got here. Forces between yourself and your partner, there is some love there, okay? It's a good, strong, solid cup sign, very affectionate, very gentle. So on the affectionate side of things, things don't seem to be missing. On your partner's side of things, very difficult indeed. I mean, this is someone who wants to have what looks like the higher life. You'd like to have the champagne lifestyle, but basically he knows that's causing him problems. So what I'm reading into that is that there are character defects with this one particular individual that makes him want to crave something which provides him with a feeling of success or stability, or blows up his ego, and doesn't necessarily give him like a mature sense of connectivity to reality. That's the kind of character that I've got here. Has he been showing an interest in other women? Has he been spending money he shouldn't have been on things that basically he shouldn't have been? Because that kind of impression is coming through to me quite big and quite strong. Not that he actually wants to be a bad man, mind. Okay, he doesn't. But the feeling is that of, on one side of things, literally, the higher life, and on the other side of things, concern about it. Almost as if he wants to have a life, he wants to feel a part of reality, but everything he does to do it is basically affecting him negatively financially as well as negatively socially. I mean, he's someone who will basically wake up from this, obviously, crazy state he's in, with the passage of time. But basically, will that be sooner or will that be later? Probably a little later on down the line, because he's got a bit more growth to go through. On your side of things, connection and a sense of balance, a sense of harmony. Within this connection, you are the one who brings the peace, which is good. But you shouldn't ever see yourself as being his therapist. You're not there to be his therapist. If he needs help, he should go out and get it. You're not supposed to be there to actually try and help him. It's not a question of what can you do to set him straight upstairs, okay? Because you can't do that. It's not your job to do that. It's his job to sort himself out. Alright, but the progression in the future is not looking too bad. Bit of a signs of interference, but there's definitely a sense of there being affection, and there's a sense of further communication and better benefits in other ways in other areas. So essentially the feelings I'm getting is suggesting some improvements. Do I feel you need to move on? I feel that what you could do, and this is could not should mind, because I'm not here to tell you what you should be doing, because that's up to you to decide, is to suggest to this guy when you can that he actually gets himself some help. Or indeed you try and arrange like some marriage guidance counselling or something similar between the two of you, because that would help an awful lot. My impression there is that You've got a future, you've got a life ahead of you, and I feel some good stuff can happen. I'm going to leave the show there for now. I mean, as is traditional, rate, comment, subscribe, favourite and share. If you're watching this on blip.tv, then, add me to a playlist, whatever. And also, this will be going out on a regular basis now, and I'm looking forward to giving you plenty of other readings. If you want to submit a request, it has to be submitted to this YouTube account, namely Nick Dutch Tarot, still to the private message section, and I'll be happy to add you to the rota. We've still got a bit of a backlog, but I'm plowing through them quite nicely, okay? And also, some people find it fun just to watch other people's readings, so essentially do stay subscribed, because there can be a lot of good which could possibly happen to you as you go through the contemplative process of watching a reading. In the meantime, I'll bid you good fortune, God and or Goddess, and all none of the above bless. Great and glorious Nick Dutch signing out for now, and we'll speak again very, very soon.